So, okay, so this is Joe Bondowski with Start Writing. Lon Hazzard is in my writing group, and he is getting ready to launch his own book. And so he and I are going to be sitting down and talking about the things he needs to do and developing it and looking at everything that he's got so far. And we're going to be recording these and putting these up on the website and on YouTube so that you can see them. And then we'll give a summary as we release each episode. So if you're curious about something and you want to see it actually done physically, then you can go to those videos and check it out. So this is Lon. He is a fantastic short story writer.
Oh, hey Joe.
All right. So let's start with where you're at. Do you want to shoot me a link to your website?
I can show you my website, but it's actually not even active yet. I'm really starting at zero.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll stop the screen share. And then if you do screen share and select it, you can show me what you've got.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay. So I've got a rough start on a website. I just did it this week, and really just kind of trying to take your advice and get this going. This seems like you had said this is the starting point. So
yeah,
I've got to have some place. I've got to have some place to send people.
Yes.
So here's what I've got so far. Just got an opening page. I've got a stories link.
Okay.
Where I've placed a story, and I've got a story there that if you go to the bottom, well, actually I go back. If you want more stories, it takes you to a link where someone can put in their email.
Okay.
And that goes to MailChimp right now.
Okay.
To add that to the list. I've got a short bio. I've started a blog here that I've done a couple of entries. And that's really where I'm at. And at the bottom, I've added some, just, share this page type links.
Right. So
that's where
let's go back to your front page. I want to look at a few things here. So do you have a pop-up scheduled to go live when you're ready to launch? And then have you tested that?
What do you mean? I don't understand.
So when somebody comes to your website and they start clicking on things like stories, so let's say I'm here and I just start scrolling down the page. So pop-ups will come in a couple different styles. You'll have one that'll take up the whole page, one that'll just be in the middle of the page, one at the bottom of the page, or one kind of small and in the corner of the page. And then they have a couple different behaviors you can have them use, which is as soon as somebody goes to your page, the pop-up will appear. As soon as he starts to scroll down the page, the pop-up will appear, or it'll wait for 7 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, however you want. And then you can also say, you can check, it can even check to see if this person has registered on your emailing list. And if they haven't, every time they come back 7 days. So if it's 7 days later, the pop-up will appear again if they haven't signed up for it yet.
Okay, so you're saying that pop-up should contain what I have here, where they'll sign up and enter their email.
And so you would, you'd want to put this, and so this should pop up on every page, offering them, free stories, just because everybody hates pop-ups. Like I don't know anyone who doesn't hate pop-ups, but the conversion rate is 33% higher than if you just have a space for them to sign up. And so even though people hate them, they work. That's the bottom line.
Okay.
So to receive a free story in your inbox and notification, send me another story. Okay. So we might want to talk a little bit about your copy here on the sign up. So you really want to kind of make this pop, using the same kind of copywriting techniques as you use in blurbs. Did you listen to that episode?
I have not finished listening to that one yet.
Okay. So I don't know if you got in the part where we talk about you, because now are big keywords you're going to want to be using in your copywriting. because again, they just help you get more conversions.
Okay.
So a few things you want to do there, and just like with any good piece of writing, you'll want to run through it a few times, making sure it's catches their attention, draws them in. I would even say, if you write an Amazon blurb, you really don't get a lot of characters, like maybe 2 sentences. And I would say maybe throw in those 2 sentences that would be ad copy for your story on Amazon. That would be the beginning here, because it's enough to say, hey, that sounds like an interesting story. I want to pick that one up too.
Okay. So in your copy here, you would actually, the goal is to try to lead someone to give them all the motivation you can to.
All the motivation. So, your writing's fantastic, and I think most people who read your story will go ahead and click through to this. But again, you would just want to make sure you want to pull in as many people, and just 2 sentences there. You could probably get people to read it and be like, hey, to get this story free, just give me your email and I'll email it to you.
Okay.
Whoa, did I pull something? Talk again. Sorry, it got really quiet.
I'm still here.
Oh yeah, I think I bumped my headphones.
Okay.
Okay, so that's one thing I would look at there is give me just 2 short sentences to kind of grab my attention and interest in that story to pull me in there.
Okay.
And then your MailChimp, how's that set up? Do you want to go there? We can look at it, unless you have to enter a password.
Let me.
So if it's just got everything pre-saved and you can just click through, we might want to look at it. So have you set it up so it's going to send PDFs and EPUBs and Mobis, or how is that set up at the moment?
I have not done any. I haven't done any setup.
Okay.
I really just have it collecting the list right now.
Okay.
And I'm really new at this. I'm not even set on MailChimp. If there's something better,
So I think I sent you. I said MailChimp and MailerLite. Have you tried the others yet?
No, I've only tried MailChimp.
MailChimp. Yeah. Okay. So I do recommend.
You like MailerLite?
I do like MailerLite. But it's all about just finding the one that you're the most comfortable with and you like the way the emails are. If you can unshare this screen, I'll plug into MailerLite and you can kind of see what it looks like when I write up an email.
Okay.
So, and I don't know how much, so I don't know if MailChimp gives you the option to make a pop-up. I'm pretty sure they should, but if it doesn't, I know MailerLite does.
Okay. How do I, stop share. Got it.
Yeah. So I'm going to go, I don't want Twitter lists. Is it sharing mine?
Yes.
There we go. Okay. So do you see my whole screen or do you just see?
I see your whole screen.
His whole screen. So you see the background too?
Yes. Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, maybe I set it up that way. I think there's a way that I can set this up to only do selected. So you don't have to see everything. Stop share. And then I want to share again. Oh yeah, that's where I did desktop. Okay. So this should not give you the whole screen, right? Yeah. You just have this one section now. Okay, so I'll plug into Mailer. So yeah, so when you're sharing your screen, this is probably not, and people think, but what you can do is you can select so what I've done is I pulled a few tabs out, so then I can log into my MailerLite on another page, and you won't see any of that.
Right. Okay.
So that might be something you can do. So if we're having you log into a couple accounts here, oh, this thing's right in my way. Can I move it? Yeah. So, okay, and then while we're doing this, how's your Twitter going? Can you pull up your Twitter account?
I have nothing on my Twitter account.
Have you set one up yet? Have you built it? Okay.
I set it up, but that's it.
Okay.
Let me pull it over. I'm not sharing my screen, so.
Yeah, we're not sharing yours yet. So okay, so here's MailerLite. So this is just the draft in edit here. This will be the newsletter that goes out at the end of the month. So this is just the subject line. It'll say who it's from. So it'll say it's from Start Writing, but then the email response is mine. And then if I click review and confirm, I can go through in here and edit the content. So just kind of a little demo here on what you got going on. So it gives you these little boxes, and I can pick which kind to put there. So we have an ad that Travis has created for his book and my book. And then if I just click this, I can kind of slide it wherever I want it to be, whether it be up higher or lower.
Right.
So, and then with the text box, I click on it and it brings it up here where I can, bold, italics, change the size of a font, link everything there. So like I said, I like MailerLite. I like the way it looks. And this is pretty much what you see here on the left-hand side of my screen is what it's going to look like in an email.
Okay. Yeah, that looks good.
I like the way MailerLite looks, and it's simple for me to use. So I'm a big fan of MailerLite. So I always forget to change this title. It's been August for several months now. So, all right. But yeah, so that's MailerLite. So I'm going to show you my Twitter. So this is what I've created is I just have a Google Doc with a list of probably 10 different Twitter accounts that I think have a similar audience to me. Some of them are based on my writing, and some of them are based on around the podcast. So this is Wattpad. And so Wattpad is just either readers or writers. And so this is their Twitter account. And if you can see right here, it says they've got, 588,000 followers. Now, there are people who have bots that just follow Twitter accounts, and they just pop up everywhere, and they're kind of irrelevant. But yeah, so I have links to about 10 of these that are accounts, and it links directly to the follower page. Like this is what I copy pasted into my little Google Doc is Wattpad. So about every half hour to an hour, just depends how busy I am and what's going on, I'll click on one of them. I come in here and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the reason I only do 10 is because if you do too many in a short amount of time, Twitter will lock your account. Okay. But yeah, so there's going to be junk accounts in there of just auto ones, but most of these are going to be writers or authors, right? And so some of the other accounts I follow, like Joanna Penn, she's an indie author, but she writes in the same kind of genre as I'm writing in. Dan Brown, who I feel like we share similar genres, so I'll be following him. Either very targeted as far as the audience, and then I'm not particular as I follow people, just because I'm trying to get so many. And so I can knock out 50 to 100 in a day, which helps me grow my own followers right there. Now, because the podcast is fairly big, there's a discrepancy between what I'm following and my followers. They're a lot bigger there, but a lot of times they'll be fairly similar as those two numbers grow.
So can you talk for a minute about what the overall goal is here? So we've got the website, we've got the mailing list, we've got our Twitter account. You're trying to create or attract followers. And I assume the end goal is to drive
traffic to the website.
Amazon,
yeah.
Right?
So what with growing any social media account, whether it be your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram, or whatever, what you're going to be doing is generating media. So this will be either, because we're dealing with you as a book, what we're looking at are quotes about the book, from people who've read it and enjoyed it, or the story that we're talking about, or something just within it that's interesting, or maybe you've written some ad copy that's interesting. You can throw that up there. And so what you'll do is produce just a short piece of media. And so you can use, Kavana? Something. A site like Kavana, and this will allow you to really easily just create media. They've got a ton of free images and fonts, and they know all the sizes for what you're trying to put it on, whether it be Twitter, poster, all that. And so you can go in here and then you just take your image and you copy paste it, your text, and then you can kind of adjust the font and whatever. So you can see one that I made here for an interview with Mike Sano, right? And just fit everything there. And so what you do is that you then will put these up on your social media accounts as a way to generate interest and drive traffic to the website. Because if you can see here, this is driving traffic to the section of my website dedicated to the podcast.
Okay.
Right. And so growing the following, so there's kind of like the way most people approach Twitter and Instagram and a lot of these others is you follow them, they follow you back, right? It's kind of how it works.
You
And
went
that's
full robot. You sound like a robot there for like the last 10 seconds. Can you say that again?
Yeah. So when you follow people on Instagram and Twitter and in Facebook's a little bit different. It's not quite the same there, but in most of these like Pinterest and whatever, they follow you back. And so that's how you can grow a fairly good sized audience. And assuming you're getting people who are in your target audience and engaged as they scroll through their Twitter feeds each day, if you have something interesting that's catching their attention, they'll click on it. Now, images get a lot more clicks than just text tweets do. They generate a lot more interest, which is why I recommend, Kavana or something similar to it to generate your images. Now, my co-host has taken over this part, and he actually does his stuff in Google Slides, and he produces some really sharp-looking images. He does better than me, but yeah. So yeah. Now, if you go to I use Hootsuite, but there are several others. And what you can do is you can connect a couple social media accounts. And so I will compose one tweet attached with an image, and then I can schedule it for a specific day, and then it'll send it to all of them when it's scheduled out to do that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it saves me a ton of time. So I'm not going through like 5 different sites. I'm just doing it. To just the one. And some will be different, like Pinterest or Instagram, you're only going to post that once. But with Twitter, because people just kind of scroll through the feed of the most recent, you actually need to be recycling posts.
Oh, okay.
There. So depending on there is, so I just do it manually every week, posting up all my stuff for the week. But there is a service called Edgar, and he will automatically recycle your posts.
Huh. Okay.
So depending on the platform there. So yeah, so that's why we grow the social media accounts is it's a free way to generate traffic. Now Twitter, you can even do Twitter ads, that's how we grew the podcast essentially. Is we were just doing $5 a day, and we were writing a couple different ads. Let me see if I can access them. But we did some split tests here. Yeah, so you can see we had 4 different images, and we were using the same copy, and we were just using which image gave us the best conversion. So, and I guess because we turned them off a long time ago. But yeah, we were getting about maybe 200 to 300 listeners a month. And then we started running ads. And then from January till May, we grew it to 10,000. And then we turned off the ads and just let it grow organically from there. And we've gone from 10,000 to 25,000 just organically, mostly because we developed a big enough Twitter following that it would spread.
Right.
So,
for me, for someone who does not have a podcast like you do to drive people to, to sum this up, it sounds like the steps are I have to make sure my website is ready.
Yes.
To hit. Then I need to next start following people that are relevant on Twitter to be followed back and drive them to my website. Would you say that's the next step?
So the first thing you want to do is, you'll set up a Twitter, a Pinterest, and an Instagram account, and just start growing those. And so even though you haven't published the book, you still have quotes you can pull from it. Maybe you've got something people have said about the book. You can start generating media with that already. And again, until your website is live, you don't need to be releasing anything, but you can, just start doing the follow back thing, which Instagram and Pinterest, that's going to be hard to do without you having any content up. But with Twitter, it's not a big deal.
Well, I'll have content up. I mean, that seems like that's just got to be done. That has to be.
So, but yeah, and so the whole idea there is, finding people who fit your target audience. Yeah. And then, the media is there to catch their attention and drive them to the website. And then, we talked about, did we talk about Wattpad?
Yeah, you've mentioned it, and you mentioned it today.
Okay.
So you use Wattpad to find people that share your interest, right?
So Wattpad's a little different. So Wattpad is free stories. So people read on their phones, and so you can you can put your story up here, and works. So then if you go here, like you can see 10 people have read my story, 4 people have voted on it since I put it up, which just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But let's see, how do I get to the metadata again? Story details. Okay, so yeah, here in the story details, you can put a bunch of tags for people to find it when they're looking for specific things. Now, where is it? So this is the important one right here, featured. So Wattpad will go through, and their staff will read stories that have this tag, featured. And if they like your story, then they will put you on the front page, and that's how your story can really blow up. Now, you can grow it organically, just like other like Twitter. Follow and follow back is a thing, and so if you can check out stories. Now, again, you want to be looking for stuff that is related to you, because they're more likely to enjoy your story and recommend it. So, in fact, this is actually where I come a lot of times looking for This Week in Critique. So I'll come to Wattpad and I'll look up a story and just start reading on it and see if anything, catches my eye. Because a lot of these are even just like fan fiction.
Yeah.
But
you said the featured tag is important. Is that something that you added, or that's something?
Yes. So those tags, all that you saw there, I added them, saying this is, these tags fit my story. So people typing into the search it'll come up, when they type in the right tags. But then I added the featured one because I had seen these featured stories, and I was like, okay, how do I get on that list? So here it is. And so one of the things they said, we try to go through all the stories and find ones to feature, but if you have that tag, we will read yours sooner, because we'll know you're trying to get on that list.
Okay. Well, that's great.
Yeah. So you'll want to take definitely your free story and put that up on Wattpad. And because you are more likely to generate interest for your story if you're regularly posting, so you might want to take it and break it up into a few parts, and then like every Wednesday or every Friday you put on another piece. And like at the end of all mine it says if you go to the website you can get the whole thing for free.
Or in my case, if they're all short stories, I'd probably just add a new story every week, right?
So yeah, just depending on how much you want to put up there.
Yeah. Well, this is great. This is interesting. So I've been looking at magazines. I got that list from that
Marley McDonald.
Yeah, from Marley McDonald. I went through all those. Some of those are good, some of them are gone, some are not good, and found a few others. But Wattpad is kind of that's a direct way to get started.
And so a big thing what you're trying to do with Wattpad is you want to get people who want to sign up for the mailing list. And once you have someone on your mailing list, I don't know if we've covered this yet, you want to set up what's called a drip campaign. And so it'll be a series of emails that you send to them. So they signed up for the free story. So 3 days later, you ask them how they enjoyed it or how they are enjoying it, depending on how long that story is. 7 days later, you said, hey, if you really like this story, I wonder if you could write a review. And even if you're not up on Amazon or something like that, you can ask them if they'll just send that review to you. And then you can do the whole thing that when you launch the book, you send it back to them and ask them to post it because the book's out now.
Yeah.
And you have this person who's sent this review to you in it. You can just put that in some of your media for Twitter saying, hey, this is what somebody said about one of my stories.
Right.
And then, 7 days after that, you can ask them if they want, if you're building a beta reader team, you can say, hey, would you be interested in being a beta reader for me or an early reviewer? And so this then becomes a collection of people that when you're ready to launch the book, you send them free copies. And what they do is they promise to review it when you release the book. And so that's how you generate a lot of reviews upon release.
which is really critical, I assume.
Yeah. So
I always look at reviews.
Yeah, everybody looks at reviews. Good reviews are great, but also just the number of your reviews is important. So when it comes to ads, whether they're coming from Facebook or from Amazon, we talk about the conversion rate. How many clicks equals a conversion, and the more reviews, or I should say, the more positive reviews you have, the better that conversion rate is.
Right.
So under 100 reviews, it's hard to get better than a 1 in 7 conversion. But if you've got over 500 reviews, you can get a conversion rate of 1 in 3.
That's a lot of reviews.
So, it is.
Thinking big.
But if you've got your book out there and people like it, and they're signing up for your mailing list, if your mailing list is, I guess we'll talk about. It's another site where we're going to have you put your book eventually to at least your free book is Insta Freebie. So I've taken mine down, but what you'll want to do with Insta Freebie is you'll set up, once you put your book here, if you pay for like a month, you can pay for a promotion and you can pay for them to collect the emails for you. And so you'll run that for about a month, and most people can pick up between 3 and 1,000 emails that way.
Wow.
So you're doing the promotion and the pay for the emails in the same run.
Okay.
So it's a good way to build the list. And again, let's say maybe a third of those will actually convert to reviewers for you. But again, that's 300 reviews.
Right. Wow. Yeah, that's great. This is all new to me.
So that's Instant Freebie. So let's go back to where you're at now and what next steps are. So I'm going to unshare and you can share your screen again.
Okay.
Give me 1 second here. Stop share. Okay. So you go ahead and share yours. So what is it your question on where to go from here? Because I just went through a ton of stuff really fast.
Yeah, well, I was taking notes as you're talking. So, I really am at zero. Like, for example, here's my Twitter account. There's nothing there.
But you've got tweets, which is important, because if a Twitter account has, it's offering you though.
I've got nothing.
Yeah, you've got nothing. So you want to put a few tweets on there so it doesn't look like a dead account, and you want to put a picture.
Okay.
So, and then you'll want to, type in or find the Twitter of, I definitely recommend doing Wattpads and Wattpad quotes, because you'll be releasing on Wattpad. But then you just want to find other authors who you think write like you. If you like this, you'll probably like my stuff. So you find those accounts, and then I just recommend putting a Google Doc and put like 10 of them on it, and a couple times a day, just hit it up and just follow 10.
Yeah, so I really am starting from nothing. So, here's my Twitter account. I don't have a Pinterest account. I don't have an Instagram account yet, but I'll set those up.
Yeah, so you want to set those up.
And it sounds like my first step is finalize the website, make sure it's good, make sure the list is working right, and then start here with Twitter.
Yeah, so you'll want to, before your web page goes live, you'll want to send yourself an email and actually set up the whole drip campaign is what you want to have going. And what you'll do is initially you'll just set it up to send them like 5 minutes apart, so you can see all 4 or 5 emails in your account immediately and be like, okay, is this how I wanted it to look when I set it up to send that out?
So you say I'm setting up the drip campaign. That's just as a test run, so I can make sure it's.
Yeah. So
Okay.
But it also needs to be up and running as soon as you launch this site and are giving away that story for free. So I guess.
Okay. Now let me review. So the drip campaign, that's the campaign where you're sending out emails every, after.
Yeah.
Someone has responded 3 days later, you're sending them an email saying, how'd you like it?
Yeah. So it's an autoresponder. So let's say I click on send me the story. I give you my email. And so then I should get an email from you right away saying, hey, thanks for signing up. Here's the story, right? Is it just in the email, or where is the story?
Well, What's the best way to do that?
Uh,
I honestly don't know.
so the best way to do it is BookFunnel.
Okay.
And they're $20 for a year. So it's pretty low cost. And then what they will do is they will send an email. If you want to switch over, I'll pull up mine.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a lot to show at this point.
Okay. So let me pull this up on my other page here. Close that. Close that. Nope, I don't want them. All right. So this is my book funnel, and then if I go to my website, sorry, it's going to be loud.
Yeah, I've been to your website.
Yeah, the video just launches automatically when you go to the page. Okay, so here's my landing page, right? I'm still working on this blurb, and I actually need to change this one out. I've changed it recently. Then I have just a bunch of reviews that are interesting, and then I say it's on Amazon and Kindle Unlimited and Audible. But if you want part one, you can get it here. So I haven't set up the audio yet, just because I tried to upload it. But the raw audio I have for the book is just so big that it's too big. So I need to shrink all the files. But yeah, so if you click on this, it sends you to this page, which is at BookFunnel, as you can see here. You say get the book, and then it just you just tell it what you want it on, and they will get you the appropriate format. So I had to upload the formats for all of these to them. But yeah, and so if I say Kindle e-reader, then it asks, what do you got? And specifically, and then there's a little video here, and it verbally talks you through it as well. And so they handle all of the, I guess, tech support of getting the file to the people. And it's only $20 for a year for, I think, like 5 books or 10 books or something.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's super convenient for distributing your book as free content.
So do they give you some guidelines on BookFunnel as to how you go about generating the right formats for them?
So what I use is, let me switch to the desktop here. One second. Is it showing the whole desktop?
Yes.
Okay, so I use this right here. It's called Caliber. And what I do is when I upload my manuscript to Amazon, they will allow me, so I write in Word.
Wait, what are you showing now? Because I don't see it. I only see MailerLite. Oh, no, it's coming, I guess.
Yeah, there it is, Caliber right there. So yeah, I'm booting it up right now.
Okay.
So yeah, so this is Caliber. And so what it does is it will let you convert the format of a book. So I upload my manuscript to Amazon, and they give me an option to download the Mobi so I can look at it and make sure it looks the way I want it to. So I pull the Mobi from Amazon, and then I run it through Caliber to produce the EPUB. Which is for usually for phone and stuff like that. If you're not running it off of that, and then the PDF I can just pull out of it directly. And so then you have the PDF, the EPUB, and the Mobi, which are the 3 formats you need it in for e-distribution.
So what do you start with? Is it a Word document or what?
Yeah. So I have a Word document, and then I upload that to Amazon, and they create a Mobi.
Oh, interesting.
Me. So you don't and even if you just need the Mobi, if you just go into your publishing on Amazon and then you whatchamacallit, you don't have to publish. You can just upload the manuscript to get the Mobi from them.
Okay.
So if you just don't finish the rest of the publishing setup, then it'll just hang on to it as a draft, which you can either delete or finish updating later. In fact, if I switch this screen share and just show you a select tab, I can show you that as well. not Caliber. So that should give you MailerLite, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's do this. And so here on the details, it says promote or advertise, or I can go in here and then I can edit the details of the book.
So kdp.amazon.com is where all the publishing is managed from.
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here I fill out the details, the blurb, the everything there.
Right.
And then save and continue. And so there's the cover. And so here it is. When you upload the manuscript, it will allow you to download the Mobi. Because I haven't changed the manuscript, it's not giving me that option right now, but this is where it is. You upload it in whatever format, it converts it over, and then it says you want to download it and review it. And one of the options is Mobi. And so you pull that from Amazon and then you can plug that into Caliber. And the reason, I think Caliber may even take Word, but the reason you want to pull the Mobi is it will convert really cleanly over.
Okay. Got it.
So, get this to fit better. So, okay. Any other questions?
Well, there's a lot here.
Yeah, I just threw a lot of information at you.
So, I mean, to sum up, it sounds like, like we've already been through. So have the website ready, set up the drip campaign, make sure the mailer is ready. Then
on your website, do you have a landing page?
What do you mean by a landing page?
So I think I just showed you mine. So
yeah, if you go to,
yeah, so this is my landing page. And so if I'm linking to my website for my book, so if I have a tweet going out, this is the link that it goes to, and it shoots them straight to this. It tells you can get, part 1 free, tells you it's on Amazon, Kindle Unlimited, Audible. There's an image of the book. I've got reviews. I've got the blurb. I've got the video down here, and the audio will play as soon as you're here. So this page's whole purpose is to get people to either get the free one or go to Amazon and buy it, right? It's a landing page. Do you have that set up?
No.
Okay.
But do you have that set up only because you also have a blog going, you have other stuff going on?
No, I have it set up because I produce social media that's intended to drive traffic to the book as well.
Okay.
So, I'm putting out tweets about the book and whatnot to drive that traffic.
This is a way to drive, a place where you drive people specifically.
Yeah. So particularly if you're wanting to pick up emails.
Related to your book, your story.
Yeah. This is where you want to drive traffic.
Okay. I'll do that. Okay. So website, drip campaign, mail setup, then do the Twitter follow routine to try to collect some people, upload story to Wattpad, upload free story to BookFunnel, and that's what your drip campaign will point back to.
Yeah, that's where the drip campaign is going to come from.
I think that's.
And then I think I may have set this up incorrectly. So I think it's supposed to, this link should actually have them sign up in an email, and in the email I should be sending them this link. So mine's not set up accurately.
Oh, you don't want to go straight to BookFunnel because then you don't catch their email.
Yeah. So so what it should be is this link. Yeah, this should be them fill out their email, and then that should shoot. Then in the email I send them in response to that, there's the link to the BookFunnel. So I've actually set that up incorrectly on mine. I just realized that just now.
Okay.
Hang on, where am I getting the email from? So.
Right, because BookFunnel will not collect an email for you as part of the download, right?
Right. They're not collecting that. That's not what they're for.
Okay, got it. This is great. You've seen where I'm at. I'm at 0, but I mean, with this, I'll get started, and I mean, hopefully in 2 weeks or so, I'll have something more.
So, and then one thing I thought I'd mention this, let's go back to Wattpad. Because I thought this was really interesting. So as I'm trying to set up the audio on my website for my book, you can, you can upload sections that are not even text. So if you click on this, it says trailer, and there's just a trailer for my book right there.
Oh, okay.
And so once I get the audio shrunken down, I'll be uploading those to YouTube. And so it'll be is chapter 1 will be text, but I'll also put another chapter 1 right here that says audio for chapter 1. And like even at group, you know, if we just had a mic set up and recorded it, you could then take that audio and you know, put that on the Wattpad as well. Be like, hey, here's the story part 1, and then here's the audio if you want. And I think there's a good possibility that will pull more readers, because they could be reading the book and then they've got to go, and then they just click on the next section and roll the audio while they're off and going.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
So just some options there. Or I mean, you can just record it at home or wherever you're at, you know, pull the audio. I think we've mentioned this in episodes before when we've talked about audio, but this is the software service that we use, and it really cleans up things a lot, and it creates a uniform sound, which is one of the big things. So it's designed for radio style productions as opposed to like music.
Yeah.
Or a really heavy dramatic reading, it could mess it up as well, because if you're trying to be quiet, it won't let you. It'll pull it and make it all even.
Right. It's got a compressor in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So, you know, right now I have, you know, there's nothing for sale anywhere. So I assume that what we're heading to here eventually is a launch, right?
Right.
Too much to talk about today, though, probably.
Well, so essentially first thing we want to look at is building you an advanced reader copy group. We want you to have a group of people who say they love your work and they want an advanced copy of the final book to review for you. And so they will get that for free, but the whole goal there is review. So that's the first thing we want to develop, is that group of people.
Okay, so you're collecting reviews, and that's all aimed toward a successful launch at some point.
Right, so that's there to help that launch be successful.
Nice, okay.
But yeah, so any other questions on that?
No.
So, all right.
Got my work cut out for me.
Yeah, there's so much to do. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, I guess, when do you want to check in again and go over the next steps?
A couple weeks.
Couple weeks?
2-3 weeks.
2-3 weeks? Okay.
I'll let you know how it's going, but I'm going to do what I can on this and jump on it.
Okay. Where am I? Where is this thing at? All right. Did I stop sharing? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I can close that window. I don't need that one anymore. All right. Then let me pencil you in now if I can. Actually, let me stop the recording first. People don't care.